Hello and welcome back to Soul Search Sunday with Johnny Tiger and Kitten hiding in the background. Well, so am I. We're hiding in the background, just chilling out. It's Sunday afternoon, been a very relaxing weekend. Actually, I really needed this because the last few weeks has been deadline, deadline, deadline. A lot of artwork and like a high pressure thing. Like deadline's never fun, but when it's art related or creativity related, it sucks. Like you, the more you get pressure, the less creative you get, but you have to meet that deadline, so you end up trying to squeeze something out, even though you're not really feeling it. It's like it's almost like uh it's almost like being squeezed dry and like the last few drops just trickling out and disgusting. I mentioned that I started to feel a bit like a milk cow, just cranking out artwork for the sake of meeting the deadline. Um, I mean, the luckily for me, I have a lot of ideas shelved away through the years, so I'm never lacking an idea. But from idea to conception to execution to a finished product, there's a lot of uh, in between. So just because the idea is there, sometimes it doesn't mean that they are ready to go. You gotta kind of think of it like a fruit tree. Just because the fruit is there doesn't mean it's ready for you to eat it. You might have to let it sit there until it's ripe. Otherwise, yeah, you can pick it and eat it, but it's not going to taste really good if you pick it too early. And creativity is kind of like that. Even though the seeds are there, the idea is there, the concept might even be there, but until the person who is creating the art of music is ready, you can't really force it. If you force it out, it's not going to be very good. Uh, so anyway, that has been my basically entire August and early part of September. Uh, so it is good to get a bit of a reprieve. I still have more deadlines, but at least they are a little bit further away on the horizon. And yes, I know some of you, especially those of you that might be Capricorn roosters like myself, more driven, more perfect, uh, more dedicated. Some of you will say that, well, if you start working on them now, the deadline wouldn't be so bad. Again, that's good if what I'm doing is fixing a car or writing homework. But when it comes to creativity, it doesn't always work that way. The moment comes when it comes. You can't say I'm going to start working on it 6 weeks earlier, so the deadline is not an issue. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Uh, so anyway, I'm sure we'll be okay. Now today, after that long preamble, we're going to talk a little bit about parents. Okay, we're going to have a little bit of a real talk about parents. And by the time this comes out and you guys click on this video, you already know the title. It's called Parents Don't Kid Yourself. Okay. And like I said, it's very real talk. If you are a parent, especially if you are older parents, most likely you won't like this episode. Okay. It will be too harsh, too direct. Uh, However, I hope that those of you that have had to deal with elderly parents, aging parents, or just unreasonable parents will probably find it very relatable. And also, those of you who are parents but haven't gotten to the old age and haven't gotten so stubborn that you can't be changed, Hopefully, this will help you out because I think that this is something that most parents should hear from somebody. When I still did counseling regularly, this is something that I told a lot of parents that were my clients. So today you guys are getting it for free. Okay, you didn't have to pay me $200 for this. So parents, don't kid yourself. We are talking about how majority of parents, especially older parents, tend to overestimate their effectiveness, their importance, and their overall uh, meaningfulness in not just other people's life, but in the life of their children. Yeah, this is very harsh, I know. But honestly, parents, as you get older, as your children get older, no matter if you want to admit it or not, you become less and less relevant. And that is a harsh truth that not just hurt you, it hurt us too as children. Because as children, we put you guys on the pedestal for most of our life, especially when we are younger. And then as we grow up, suddenly that parent who's supposed to be Superman or Wonder Woman, not so Superman or Wonder Woman anymore. Like you become used to thinking that your dad is a superhero, your mom is a Wonder Woman, and they can move mountains. And then by the time you're 30s, you realize no, they can't move mountains. They're more like they're, they're kind of losing their things. They can't do as much anymore. And then by the time you're 40s and 50s, you realize no, they're just like me. They're just as flawed as I am. And by the time you're 50s and 60s, you realize maybe they're less than I am. And that's a horrible thing to come to realization to. Right? So when I say that you become less relevant, it's not something that we are happy about. It's not something that we want to rub in your faces about. Okay? But it's just the way nature works. As you get older, you're less effective. You're less important, not just to your children, but you're basically less important to society as a whole. This is why you retire because they don't need you anymore. Okay, they don't make you retire because they're nice to you. But you retire because you're in the way, right? You're not needed. You're not effective anymore. So why are we talking about this? Because a lot of time, children, as children, we don't want you to realize this, or we don't want this to hurt you so much. So we kind of play into this little fantasy world and try to make you feel that you are still 10 feet tall and the most important person in the world. The world can't function without you. Our world can't function without you. We try to do that. Why? Because we do that for children too. Okay. When I walk out there, when I come across a 10-year-old boy who tell me, "Hey, I just got my black belt in Taekwondo," I'm going to say to that boy, "Wow, that's awesome! That you like I wouldn't want to piss you off. That you would kick my ass." Now, really, would he be able to? Probably not. Like, I don't care how good you are at your taekwondo. When you're 10 years old, the chance of you kicking my ass, especially in a pissed off situation, is very, very slim. Okay, but we say things like that because we want to be nice. We want to encourage the child, right? When a child does something like let's say a child say, hey, like my teacher asked me this question today and I answered it perfectly, and we are going to say, oh, good job, that's awesome, that's you're the smartest person in the world. In your head you're like, So what? Everybody can answer that question. Right? We do these things because we want to be nice, and we do these things for our parents, especially elderly parents as well. But sometimes it backfires. Sometimes the elderly parents take this to heart and start believing in their little fantasy world. Right? Case in point, uh, there's this one time, not so long ago, about 10 years ago, when my father tried to lecture me on the phone. And my father said to me, he said, "You know, I know you've competed and you teach and all that shit, but let's face the reality. You are a blind guy. You cannot fight. If you, I don't care how many medals you've won. I don't care what you got. Okay, that's people being nice to you. If you are blind, like even someone like me, I'm 75 years old. I can even kick your ass if I really want to. All I have to do is hit you and run away. There's nothing you can do about it." When I heard my dad say that, and I was like, "Yeah, okay, dad, I got it. Okay, okay, fine, that's fine. You're awesome. You'll kick my ass, sure." In my head, I was like, "Yeah, dad, let's just never find that out, shall we?" Like, come on, you really think in my 35 years of martial arts and self-defense and various happenstances, I never had people try to hit me and run away. That you really think that's going to work, especially when you're 75 years old and you don't run very fast. Like, come on, old man. Like, you know it, I know it. At least I hope you know it. That if that happened, you wouldn't stand a chance. Okay, like I wouldn't even have to hit you. All I have to do is walk into you, and you will fall down and hurt yourself. But this is just one of those examples how, like my father, in his 75 years of age, decided to lecture me on something that he believes he knows what he's talking about, and he believes he's secure in his having eyesight, being able to kick the ass of someone who's blind, despite of our age differences, despite of our experience differences, despite of our skill set differences. He believed that him being sighted was enough to overcome all that differences. And me being a good son, just smile and say, "Yeah, okay, dad, yeah, okay, you're right." Fine. Now, there are other examples that we can draw from parents overthinking, overestimating their own importance, such as in the case of a good friend of me and Kitten's. I'm not going to drop the name here, but he's been paying his son's rent, been paying his son's food cost. His son is 40 years old. His son is fully sighted, no disability, right? Musical genius, got a degree to teach music. Uh, very, very talented person. Yet dad, who is retired, have to try to pay the rent and food for son. And the most that I hear from him is, well, if I don't, what's he going to do? He's going to starve to death. He's going to end up on the street. And I just want to shake him and say, no, he's not. Wake up, man. You are like totally overestimating your importance. He tells you how important you are, so you'll pay his rent. You're being suckered into this. If you don't pay for him, yes, the first month he's going to have difficulties. The second month he's going to struggle. But believe me, by the third month, he's going to find someone else to leech off of. or he's going to get off his ass and go out and actually find work. Right? Most people work this way. Right? If there's an easy way to get money, aka through dad, a lot of people will do it. And if all it takes is you tell your dad, Dad, I can't live without you, and a lot of people will do it. But is it true? No, it's not true. Right? A totally capable person in their 40s who got a degree to teach music can't make it in the world without that. There's no way. Okay? It's just not how it works. He can drive Uber. He can deliver uh, parcels. He can clean floors. Can mow lawns. There's a lot of. I can sit here and name job after job for the rest of the night. Uh, he will make it. That is not that important. That is just a convenience right now. I remember this very poignant conversation I had with my dad during a moment of him being clear of mind, or more clear of mind than usual. And my dad actually said to me, he said, you know, your mom and myself, we are actually really proud of you. But we never want to tell you that because we don't want you to stop trying. My first reaction was, oh, that's so sweet. And my second reaction immediately on the heel of the first one is, wait a second, who the F are you that you think that just because you tell me you're proud of me, I'll stop trying? Like, really, dude? Really? You, you, you think too highly of yourself, man. I don't try just to make you feel proud. I try because I want something out of life. I try because I want to try. It got nothing to do with you telling me you're proud or not. So in that case, again, my father making this decision that no, we're not going to tell you we're proud of you. We're going to criticize you. We're going to be mean to you. We're going to push, push, push because we think this is how to make you to keep wanting to try. It's based on a false assumption that he is very important. His opinion of me is very important. No, it's not. I learned at an early age. I learned when I was a teenager that my dad's kind of crazy. I learned when I was a teenager that my parents were not very nice people, and their opinions of me didn't really mean that much. Because why would I take the opinion of someone who's not a nice person seriously? I'll give you guys one more. Okay, this is another example of my father overestimating himself and almost came back and bit himself in the butt. Um, just last year, was it last year or the year before? My father was trying to uh, force me into moving back to Taiwan to take care of him financially because he believed that me moving back to Taiwan would allow him to get all kinds of benefits, and he can also get my benefit, and I can live with him and take care of him, and my money would go to him. It's really convoluted, stupid, and I won't even go into the whole thing. Suffice to say, he's totally wrong. The assumption was totally wrong, but him being who he is, he didn't want to listen to anybody. So he pushed and pushed and pushed. Every time he talked to me on the phone, pushing, I took care of you. You better move back here now that I need you. I brought you to Canada. You can't, you have to repay me now that you can move back here and take care of us. Yada, 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 until I finally told him, I said, look, I'm not going to drop everything I have here. just to move back there so you can have whatever fantasy money you think you're going to get, and then things don't work out, and then you don't have anything, I don't have anything. We are both totally screwed in that case. It, it's not going to happen. And my dad actually said to me on the phone, he said, if you do not move back here and help us out, I'm going to not talk to you anymore, and I'm going to disown you. And sad to say, he didn't get the reaction he wanted. I think he was expecting me to break down and cry and, oh, Dad, please don't do that. I love you, Dad. I was like, that wouldn't be very good for you. Like, I was so shocked at how stupid that was. I was like, that wouldn't be very good for you. You might want to rethink that. And he basically hung up on me. And I sent my mom a text message. I said, LOL. Dad just said that if I don't listen to him, he's going to disown me and not talk to me ever again. You might want to explain to him that that doesn't hurt me. That's going to that's going to hurt him a lot more. Like, I am literally, practically, I'm the only person in the world who check in on him and talk to him. He doesn't pay my rent. He doesn't pay anything. He doesn't send me anything. He doesn't live with me. He doesn't do anything for me. So for him to threaten to disown me and not ever talk to me again, it's hilariously ridiculous. Like, dude, how do you figure that's going to intimidate me? I am calling you on the phone, talking to you, checking in on you because I want to be nice to you. Now, if you want to disown me, honestly, that's going to be a lot less work for me. I don't have to put up with you chewing me a new one every time. I, it honestly won't do anything negative to me. I can still find out how you are doing through my mom. I won't even worry about you. All I have to do is ask my mom once in a while, how's the old man? And that's fine. Now, again, I don't want to rub this in his face, of course, but it's something that most parents, I think, need to know that when you are so used to bullying your kids into having things your way, you need to pull that back and really rethink your strategy as you get older. Because if you keep doing that, one day it will have the effect that you least expected. And your kid's going to look you in the eyes and say, yeah, okay, go ahead. Go ahead, hit me. Go ahead, disown me. Oh, go ahead, don't talk to me. I don't care. And then what? And then you're going to be hurt and embarrassed, right? So I hate to say this, but it all boils down to we all need to know our place in our life. When we were 3 feet tall and we rely on you for food, you could bully us. You shouldn't, but you could. And a lot of parents get away with it. When we are in our 20s and we live in your basement, you can bully us. You shouldn't, but a lot of parents do. But as we get older and you get older, as we get stronger, and guess what? You get weaker. It's no longer a good idea to use that same pushy bullying tactic because it only will work as long as we try to be nice to you. When we stop being nice, then it's not going to work anymore. So again, if you are a parent, you probably have all kind of negative things going through your mind because I know, as most parents, this is your fear, is to become obsolete, is to become uh, obsolete. Sorry, is to become inconsequential, become irrelevant. But you know what? You will not become irrelevant or inconsequential or obsolete if you be nice to us and we are nice to you. If it's from love and not from bullying and pushing. Okay. As you get older, yes, you become less effective. You become less important to society. But why do we still try to patronize you? Why do we try to do things your way? Because we still love you. You're still our parents, right? So if you remember that, and we remember that, everybody will get along just fine. Okay? When you behave yourself, when you be nice, then you will never become obsolete. You will never become inconsequential because you are still that nice parent that we love and we want to please you and take care of you. But when you try to get belligerent and uh, force the issue, then quite often the result can be very sad for everybody involved. Thank you for checking out today's episode, and yeah, well, I got my number one fangirl, a number one fanboy, Aslan, sitting on my chair. Thank you for checking out this episode, and we'll be back again either tomorrow or another day or whenever we get a chance. For now, have a good night and be nice to your parents. Bye.